Okay, so tell me why, when I was given acid last, that I started to see auras around people. I started to see energy fields around everything, but people had blue and red auras, just as they've always said they would. And then I started to see the geometric patterns of the world for me. So the first time I took acid, it took like 5 hits, and I began to see things. Like I could look at the mirror, and I could look at the table, I could look at the wall, and I could see the different texture. Like there's a texture even on the mirror here. This is not. It looks really close to flat, but it's not. If I look close enough, I could see it. But it's even more obvious if you look at a standard white wall, like up here. And I could see that stuff. Like I visually became aware that that existed, and I could see that colors are brighter and all this stuff that people talk about. And then my body began to notice other things too. And by the way, this video is not a promotion of drugs, because I've seen my friends, boy, some people don't need drugs. Let me tell you about that, man. And you better have someone strong around you if you're gonna try stuff like this. That way they can choke you out if you get out of hand. But anyways, I began to see things I'd never seen. I began to feel and taste things I'd never seen. Like I noticed, like when I was eating my food, I was like, this tastes like corn. Like, and I'm drinking Mountain Dew from the Taco Bell. And I'm like, this is nasty. This tastes like corn. And it's like corn syrup. Of course it's nasty. That's not no real citrus drink. That's some garbage. What do we got in here? High fructose corn syrup right there. Carbonated water, high fructose corn syrup. You know what I'm saying? It's straight telling me what's going on in the world. But anyways, okay, so I was in Mexico, and out of nowhere, like I'm just walking around the city, figuring out Mexico City, just wandering around aimlessly, probably doing something, but lost as hell, I'm sure of that. I didn't even have a phone line for a while, so I was just relying on finding internet here and there to make sure I could get back to where I was coming from. And someone walked up to me, told me if I need anything to come up to them, and gave me a awesome looking, beautiful business card, and then gave me some free stuff. And I'm like, oh man, what is this? What is this person offering me this time? And like, yeah, they trying to kill me. It's like, I could only hope I could, I can leave this world for once. But it turned out to be legit. I took it like right after he gave it to me. I just wandering around the city aimlessly. What else is someone like me gonna do other than the next dumbest thing? Every day is the new dumbest thing I could ever do, and it's always fun and exciting. I gotta tell you, sometimes it's so terrifying. I've said this before, haven't I? Sometimes it's so fun and exciting, it's terrifying. So I just took it right there in the middle of this area I don't know, in the city and the nation I don't know, and like in 45 minutes I ended up like close to where I was sleeping at the hostel, and I still didn't know any of these areas because I was here for like a day or two, and I was using my GPS, and so my GPS stopped working, and then like I know right away, like the last thing I do right now is I freak out, because when I freak out, I'm going to end up like these other people I know who went to some other planet and their body is still operating in the world, but their brain is somewhere else. I know right away I do not freak out, because that's where the bad acid trip is you controlling it with your mind, and your mind's expanding. And when you expand your mind into a detrimental situation, detrimental things might happen, and have every single time. I had someone take my stuff from me once. I had a bottle. It was probably like 100 drops. They thought I didn't look like a hippie. They thought it was fake stuff. And so they're sucking on it like it's candy and stuff. And they like, I guess her boyfriend smacked it out of her mouth and was like, what the hell are you doing? And he was like, you got to get out of here, because she is gone. She's no longer in this world. So we do not allow ourselves to get into such situations. We must control our minds at all times. Our minds control the world around us, and we must control our mind. That's hard for me to do, I'm telling you. But anyways, I started seeing auras around people. Certain people had red and certain people had blue auras. And I was noticing geometric patterns like form. Like I'm watching the world like form geometric patterns and stuff, showing me the breakdown of it. And everything, not just the humans, but almost everything had this energy wavelength coming from it. And this isn't just my mind freaking out on drugs. I've been studying this world for a long time, and people have been telling us for a long time that these energy fields exist. And they're not all drugged out hippies. Most of them probably couldn't survive a half a hit of acid or a quarter of hit of it. Some of them can see these